this is Morris, and I say keep on listening to George 99.7 FM.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us here, and thank you so much for being along with us all this while. We're glad and grateful to have a new year, and we're glad and grateful to have you along with us as we travel this very important journey. For Ghana, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to sport or international sport, because the 13th Africa Games is coming up in March. We'll be talking about all of that in subsequent editions of the show. But the most important thing for now, and the most important area of focus, is the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations to be hosted by neighboring Cote d'Ivoire. You do remember the story of Ghana, or you do know the story of Ghana. 4-time African champions were not the highest achieving side. Egypt is. And considering the fact that Ghana was amongst the very first nations to hit that milestone and now is struggling to go on to number 5, many are concerned about whether or not Cote d'Ivoire is the ground for Ghana to go and break that jinx that has been in existence for the better part of 4 decades. This goes to tell us that anybody who is age 40, on the stroke of 40 and below, has never witnessed anything like Africa Cup of Nations glory on the part of the Black Stars here in Ghana before. So that is a very big area of concern and a very big subject for conversation as well. So today, we're taking close focus on the Africa Cup of Nations from an experienced mind, and also looking at what the possible opportunities could be for the Black Stars as they look forward to this one. Of course, there have been some days of training, the delays with having our big stars arrive in camp, and all of that. But, well, as we go along, we're just going to look at the dynamics and how all of this fits into proper preparation in terms of mind and in terms of physique and technique and everything to get the Black Stars ready for this very big task in Cote d'Ivoire. But just as we go along and talk about honors, I'll be telling you about the Nguvu Swag Awards Night, which happens on the 12th of January at the Accra International Conference Center. Now, the time is 6 p.m. and the theme is leveraging the benefits of the 13th Africa Games. Remember, the Africa Games will be hosted by Ghana, and this prestigious awards event will be graced by His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Of course, on the stage as well, the multiple award-winning Kofi Kinata will be there, and the Singathon Queen, the woman who's trying to break the record for longest singing run by an individual, Ifwa Santo-Edronum, will also be there at the Nguvu Swag Awards Night. And of course, I do remember that the 48th edition of the Swag Awards Night is sponsored by Nguvu Mining, Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, GOIL, the National Lottery Authority, Stanbic Bank, SESHD+, and Malta Guinness, as well as Trillium Industries Limited. Do remember that is on the 12th of January, and the time is 6 p.m. at the Accra International Conference Center. So for sponsorship, tickets, and more details, just contact 0244280802. The 48th Swag Awards, another time to celebrate sports excellence. And we've come from a very thick and big time of spending. I was just taking a quick look at one of the receipts, beverage receipts from one of the events, and boy, oh boy, I don't want to mention the figure. So lots and lots of people have spent a lot of money. I know you out there have also spent a lot of money, but what about I tell you that 10 Ghana cedis can do some magic for you? So with 10 Ghana cedis, you can get free concert tickets, shopping vouchers worth up to 500 Ghana cedis to shop at Melcom, and also get some buckets of juicy chicken from KFC every week. And of course, all you need to do is just stake 10 Ghana cedis or more with a Game Park game, pick 1 or pick 4 lottery, and this will be entered in a weekly raffle on Saturdays. Remember, It's at 6 p.m. on their Dome TV channel. All you need to do is dial *946# or visit www.gameparkgames.com to play now. Remember, the terms and conditions apply. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. It's time to get into the big conversation here on this special edition as we start off the year. And this fine gentleman has featured for Ghana in 2 editions of the Africa Cup of Nations. One of the finest pair of limbs and finest talents not to have graced the FIFA World Cup, but sure did contribute immensely to Ghana's qualification to her very first World Cup. In recent years, he has focused his attention on the technical end of things and, of course, is doing a lot in that area. Previously, he was in charge of the under-18 men's or the under-18 boys team of Right to Dream Academy, and under which he was able to do a lot. Of course, did quite a bit as well with North Zealand FC, who are a sister institution to Right to Dream Academy. And away from that as well, he's working on his UEFA licenses and looking forward to securing the highest badge, which will be a UEFA A. Now, away from that as well, he has become one of the most sought after names and faces when it comes to football punditry. He's worked with the Joy Sports team, was one of the biggest points of reference when it came to Joy Sports coverage of the Euro 2020 event live on the Joy Prime channel, and also has featured on Supersport as well on the same stage of the Africa Cup of Nations. Who am I talking about? The man who previously wore the number 7 jersey for the Black Stars, who some time ago had some dreadlocks, but now decided to put all of that away and stage a new look. Laryea Kingston is my guest here. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Man Sabato.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you.
Many happy returns.
Yeah, great. Today happens to be the 50th birthday of our big brother and friend, the executive council member of the Ghana FA, Randy Abbey. Randy Abbey celebrates 50 years today. I know he's your brother and friend as well.
Yeah. We all know Doug has been all our friend. We've known Doug for a long time, and our relationship, It's something else. When he see you, the way he will receive you, and all that. I remember when I was playing for the Black Stars, he was part of the management members for the Black Stars team, and his contribution to our first ever World Cup was amazing as well.
Wow.
So someone that loved the game, and then off the pitch as well too, his personality is massive.
Well, big salutes to Dr. Randy Abbey, Executive Council Member of the Ghana FA, who celebrates his 50th milestone. Of course, this 50th milestone runs through the rest of the year, so we'll have various activities as well.
Yeah.
Laryea, let's begin with you. I mean, what have you been up to in recent times? I mean, since you bid farewell to Right to Dream, with your exploits there and everything.
Yeah, so far it's been very good. My focus is more of coaching, and I feel so excited to be part of coaching group. And trust me, I'm really enjoying every bit of it. I know it's very difficult comparing me being as a player and then coaching as well. For me, I think coaching is very, very difficult. When I was a player, it looks like I only think about myself. Only go on the pitch and then try to focus on myself, how I'm going to perform well, then help the team as well. But being a coach, you have to think for a lot of people. Doing your planning, managing the backroom staff, managing the players, planning your sections, delivering your sessions, doing presentation to the boys before you go on the pitch, having a game plan before every game. So it's quite a work, but if you are doing something and you have passion for it, I think you don't think about the tough times. That's what is driving me. I have passion for it. I can do something else, but for me, I love the game so much to live it. So at the moment, I'm the head coach of the U17s. I came in as an assistant for a short time with the performance that we put up in Serbia.
I remember the Serbian tournament. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, with the U16s. I think the FA realized and saw that I deserve to be the head coach, and they did that as soon as possible. As soon as we came back, I had a meeting with them, and then they moved me from an assistant to the head coach now. So at the moment, I'm the national under-17 coach, and it's going very well. Previously, the Serbia group, we have regional scouts that scouted players for us, come to Accra. Then we have to pick the best among them. But I had an experience through that, and I decided to go myself this time. And this time, myself and my technical team, we went all over the regions. We went about 10 regions to pick the quality that we believe can help the country. Bring them to Pram, and then now we have 26 players in camp. But there is still room. If I see someone who is better than the one that I have there, he also gets his chance. So at the moment, this is the focus. I'm focusing with the national under-17 men's team. And it's been very long since we qualified to major tournament with the U17. So that has been my worry that we have, myself and my technical team, we're doing everything possible so that this time Ghanaians will enjoy the under-17 again.
Do we have? Is there hope? I mean, you are the experienced one. You played at that level, and God being so good, you found your way back. This time, you're operating from the dugout. I mean, in years past, we've had to deal with issues of age cheating, for instance, and all of that. How are we dealing with all of these things at this time in 2024, when we want to revive that interest and also get ourselves back there? We won 2 titles in the 90s.
Yeah,
2 world titles.
Yeah, for me, I think it's very, very important to take that job. I took it because I've been there as a player, and I had experience with the U17s as a player. In my time, it was 1997. We were runners-up. We went to the final with Brazil. We lost like 5 minutes to finish the game. We were leading 1-0. They equalized, and then we lost the final. So as a player, and then now coming back to coach the same, it gives me a lot of memories as a player. So that also have helped me to understand the mentality of that age group. And you speaking about like people not picking the right age group and all that. That's why I took it upon myself to go out there myself and then go and look at the boys. After that, this is what I did. I assign my team manager to go to if we pick you, I send my team manager to go to your school to go and verify and check your right age in the schools before I take a decision of bringing you to camp. So far it has been very good and clean exercise. Also, one thing we have to know that we have to go through the MRI before you be eligible to play in the WAFO and the African Cup of Youth Championship. So because of that, I did a lot of inquiries about the previous U17s, and the previous one, they had some challenges last minute, final minute. About 80% of the players failed the MRI. So last minute they have to be bringing new players in. That's technically it won't work because you, the coach, you not work with them. You don't know what they are bringing on board. The players doesn't know what you are expecting from them. So I took it upon myself and make sure spoke with the FA, with the FA support and Dr. Pambo's support. I think we took each and every player that is in camp now through the MRI exercise. And the target is, if you get 5, we'll still bring you to camp. Grade 5, we'll still bring you to camp, but we have to monitor you till April. You have to go and do it again. Because one thing we should know, the main competition is in 2025. Of course, we have to qualify this year, but the main thing is 2025. But we want to build a team now that in 2025 they will be ready for anything that we put up in front of them. So if you have 4, then you are eligible. 4 downwards, that's the main numbers that we're looking at. But 5, it depends on the qualities that you have. We want to bring you in, and then we'll matter. So at the moment, we have about 6, 7 grade 5s that they are top talents that we are monitoring them. Hopefully, in May, again, they do the MRI, and then if they still in 5, then they still stay in camp. But for exercises and the mistakes we did before, the FA and myself we've sat down and then we're making sure it won't happen again.
Now, we look around the continent now, and the defending champions of the Africa Cup of Nations are dominating everywhere, at every stage of the game. Senegal are now the template. Some years ago, Côte d'Ivoire, took that accolade because of their very effective academy system, their Sec Mimosa Academy and all of that. Now, it's Senegal, and Senegal seems to have gotten it right in terms of setting their structures right and everything. Morocco is also getting themselves into the fray. What have we learnt about them? I know you traveled around to monitor some of the tournaments and all.
Yeah, for me, mentioning Senegal and Mali as well, it's about long-term planning, which for me, the results that they are getting now, they planned it maybe like 5-6 years ago. So when you invest well in infrastructure, invest in your coaches, then your coaches can educate players in the country that can play in the highest level. So for me, I think all those countries, Senegal, Mali, Morocco, they invested well in the infrastructure. Good infrastructure will help the coaches to be able to educate the players well. It can develop the players well on good surface. And also educating good coaches that they can come and then pass on positive things to the players, So for me, I think it's long-term planning, and which for me, I believe Ghanaians, we should be exercise patient and have that long-term planning, and I think that's the only way we can have results. Long-term planning, and then also educate good coaches that they can pass positive knowledge to the playing body. With that, then the results will show on the pitch. So I think these countries, this is what they've done. And I'm not surprised that they're getting results because they're doing the right thing.
So you look at us and how we've planned. I'm asking all of these obviously because of where we are regarding how much influence we have, or how much the name Ghana resonates among football fans as we prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations, because there's a lot of talk about the planning and structures and all of that, and how it is going to have a telling effect on what we're going to see on the pitch eventually.
Yeah, for me, I know Ghanaians are not happy about the team because previous performances have not been. It's not gone well for us, but like you said, we are Ghana. We are Ghana. I always say that everywhere you go in this country, you find quality players in the country. But then again, you can have one thing we should know is like a football team is a football team. So we need to have proper guidance to the players that we can guide them to achieve whatever the country wanted to achieve in terms of proper training camp, in terms of the technical team sending the right messages to them, the players getting used to the technical team. I know they went to camp very late, but most of the players that have made it to the final list, they've stayed with the technical team. So already the players know the technical team and the technical team know the players as well. So the state that they are in now, the main focus is game plan to our first game in Ivory Coast. I know it's going to be tough. It's not going to be it's not going to be easy for the team, but the most important thing is our first game. If you get it right, I think we'll have a smooth tournament.
Well, if you just joined us, we're having this conversation with Ghana legend Laryea Kingston, who is now a coach, and he's been doing a lot in terms of coaching, in terms of scouting, and also football punditry on international networks, and is bringing his thoughts to bear as we look forward to what will hopefully be a good Africa Cup of Nations campaigns in the face of all the difficulties. We're going to be talking about the difficulties in a little bit, but Laryea, I'd want us to talk a bit about the game, the Namibia test game on Monday, and how much we can draw out of it. Namibia decided to also camp here in Ghana, and that sure will bring a lot of benefits to them, especially as it's just next door in Côte d'Ivoire. But let's talk about the phenomenon of players and their release to national teams. the conversation about the placing of our leagues, the scheduling of our leagues, and how it should be in sync with that of Europe. This conversation has gone on and on and on. And now, one bug that bit us years ago is coming back to sort of manifest itself again. It's taken a while. It took a while for Inaki Williams to return. Coach David Moyes spoke about, Kudus Mohammed said, look, I mean, if Mo Salah could play that last game, why couldn't, Kudus play? I mean, you also had similar challenges when you played at Hearts in Scotland.
Yeah, I think that's a massive challenge for the players and the teams as well. Because when you look at things, your country is your country. You have to honor your country. So previous years, I keep saying that I wish CAF can do something that they can at least move the tournament at the same time the Europeans are playing their European Cup as well. With that, teams will have will be happy their top players are leaving, because at the end of the day, maybe talking of Kudus now is one of the key players in West Ham team. And then as a technical person, a player that I'm building the team around is going away for like a month.
I remember the video of the little boy who said he wanted Ghana to be kicked out early so that Kudus could return.
Exactly. So these are some of the things. But then again, you have to think about your country first. So for me, when I was playing for Hearts, and I had similar situations like Iñaki Williams and Kudus Mohammed, what they are in now, I stood on my grounds and told the team, yes, you are paying my wages for me, but every player's dream is to honor his country. I have no choice, I have to go. I know when I come back, I'm going to fight back to win my position, my spot again, but playing for my country, I think, is the key, every player's dream to play for their country. I know the clubs will suffer, but you cannot say no to your country. At the end of the day, turn your back to your country. It's going to be very difficult. If CAF can find a way in future, they can move the tournament to a certain, maybe at the same time the Europeans are playing their European Cup. Then again, all leagues will be on hold, and then players can go and honor their national teams. I think is going to help a lot. But I don't think it's fair on the national teams, and then it's not fair on the team's behalf.
Now, we've had all sorts of situations. We had the Inaki Williams situation. We overcame it. He was able to do his nationality switch, and then he got the opportunity to play for the Black Stars. Then he started searching for goals. He couldn't get it right at the World Cup. Then recently in a qualifier, he got it right at no less a place than the Bavaria Stadium.
It's a massive relief from him. I know the way he's going to feel when he wasn't scoring. I know Ghanaians, the way they love the game. So as for the pressure, Europeans, they understand the game. So Europeans, they will have time for you. But in Africa, the pressure, you have to come and deliver as soon as possible. So I was happy to see him getting his first goal. And hopefully that one is going to open the doors for him to score more goals. But talking about Iñaki Williams, to integrate into a new environment is not easy. So that's why I've taken upon myself, because when you watch people like Junior Gogo was born in Ghana.
God bless his soul.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. Was born in Ghana, but he moved to the UK at a very younger age. So coming back, he already have something attached to Ghana. When you look at most of the players that we're moving to Ghana, like let's say Boateng for instance, we brought him in, and you can see that he's not even played one game in Accra or Kumasi. He comes in, but he will give an excuses and all that. It's not about him. Maybe the facilities, he's not used to the facilities, maybe. So when I took over the U17s, this is what I put it to the FA. I told them, okay, because previously they said they don't bring young players from Europe, Ghanaian born in Europe, to come and play the youth national teams, which for me I think is okay, because they want to give a player in the village an opportunity. You see, but looking at Iyake Williams' situation, looking at Quincy Osu-Abeye's situation, looking at Boateng's situation, they come in and they struggle to adapt, integrate. So these players, Iyake Williams, imagine if we are bringing him in to come and feature in youth national teams. Before he gets to the Black Stars, he's used to the environment already. So we won't have those problems. So I put it across, and now, for me, I think they back in it. They asked me to cast my net wide. So as I'm sitting here now, I'm looking at Ghanaian-born kids that are playing in Europe and maybe America, everywhere, Australia, everywhere. So that when they make it to the first team, it will be easy. We won't have those challenges like Iyake Williams is facing now.
Well, while we do all of this, we would also want to delve into a bit of history as well. Would be looking at the team, would be looking at the players. 80-90% of the players have had little or no AFCON experience at all, and we'll be getting into that as well, and how it could have an effect, or it could be a blessing in disguise later on. But do remember that this is a conversation with Ghana legend Laryea Kingston, who has had 2 appearances at the Africa Cup of Nations. Remember, the Africa Cup of Nations is just a couple of days away, and as things stand, the Black Stars are supposed to play a friendly against Namibia. We'll see how all of that goes. But now, let's throw the focus on you and the Africa Cup of Nations. You have a very twisted story, I mean, in terms of fortunes at the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, during your first appearance, when you clearly were in very, very good form, an incident took you away and it denied you a chance to play in the World Cup.
Yeah, those things are, it happens, but
have you moved on from that emotion and all of that?
Yes, I've moved on. I've moved on. By any time someone reminds me of that, I always feel down about it, because we are in the Nations Cup, and after a month we go into the World Cup. Yeah. And during that time,
you have contributed greatly to the campaign.
So we played the World Cup qualifications and then the Nations Cup qualification together. And we've qualified the team to the World Cup, qualified to the Nations Cup. You went to the Nations Cup, and then you had some challenges with the suspension and all that. And then in 1 month time, World Cup is kicking, and you will not be eligible to play. For me, if you ask me today, if I'm happy with my career, yes, of course. I did everything. I want to play in the Ghana Premier League, I did. I want to play outside the shores of Ghana, I did. I want to play in the senior national team, I did. In fact, I graduated from the U15s, U17s, U20s, the Olympic team and the senior team. So if you ask me, in my career...
You've done a full cycle.
Exactly, but the main thing is the World Cup. The World Cup is every player's dream to be there, which I don't have it in my CV. But I believe, being a coach, I can definitely get there and experience it as a coach as well. So that tournament we did not even enjoy the tournament. We've qualified.
Why didn't you enjoy the tournament?
Yeah, the reason is the team that we had that time, before we got to the World Cup, we have a lot of injuries. Sule Mutari wasn't 100% fit. Michael Essien was out through injury. Stephen Appiah was also half fit to the tournament. Matthew Amwa, 50-50. So before we even went to the Nations Cup, most of our key players that were in top form, that qualified the team to the Nations Cup and the World Cup as well, we lost about 4 or 5 key players in the team. So definitely the starting 11 will be weak. So for me, I think that is the only problem we had. And talking of myself, Sule Mutari, Stephen Appiah, and then Michael Essien, and then we missing 2 out of that. Myself and Stephen Appiah, we couldn't do it all. We had other players that came in to be there, but we've played a lot of games together. The way we can gel up, other players that came along to play with us, it will take us time for us to get used to it. So these are small things that I think cost us in that tournament.
And we couldn't make it into the final stages. So for you, it's more of the injury situation that we got at the 2006 AFCON. That really was the
yes. We did not have a full strength of players in that tournament.
So we probably could have won it if.
Oh yeah, we were in top form. We've not even draw a game. No, we've not even lost a game. All these players playing together, we've not even lost a game. Apart from we losing our first game in the World Cup qualifier, we won every game till the Nations Cup that we lost to Nigeria and then Zimbabwe.
Well, interesting thoughts by the man Laryea Kingston here as we look ahead to the Africa Cup of Nations, which begins in a couple of days. Of course, across board on all of our platforms, we sure are going to be having loads and loads of conversations, bringing you the analysis, the figures, the big moments that you may have missed out on in history. And all of this is to help us also garner support for the Black Stars. So more in the rest of the conversation with the man Laryea Kingston right here. We'll do some messages now. All right, so more in the conversation. We've been looking at loads and loads of areas. Now we want to throw the focus on AFCON 2008, which Laryea Kingston played in. You do remember the issue with his injury. You do remember his heroics in the Ghana-Nigeria quarterfinal game, in which he came in, created some magic, collaborated with Sule Muntari, and gave the late Junior Agogo, an assist to make sure that Ghana won that game in what is a long-lasting sporting rivalry. We'll talk about all of that and current day AFCON, where it is in terms of the value that it brings, in the bigger picture of the world sporting franchises. Okay, so 2008, we had gone to the FIFA World Cup, we had come back, it was good. The experience at the World Cup was great. And then now we have the responsibility of hosting it. And then the biggest casualty was that the talismanic skipper, Stephen Appiah, could not play because of injury.
Yeah, it was a big blow to the team. It looks like all the time when we go into a tournament, there is 1-2 major injuries with some key players. 2008, we were very, very confident in coming into the tournament because we've gone like in the winning run without losing a game. Ivory Coast was winning their games. They were in top form as well. We were also in top form, so we were winning all our games. And Ivory Coast too, they were also winning all their games. So most people were saying, they want to see Ghana, Ivory Coast. They want to see Ghana, Ivory Coast. So coming into that tournament, we being host, we had so much confidence. And you can see, that apart from our first game, that was very tough for us. After that win against Guinea, every game was tough, but we managed to enjoy the game. We managed to dominate every game. Even the semi-final against Cameroon, we dominated play. That 1-2 was through suspension. Then the coaches have to adjust, move players from their main position to different positions. And then they got excited in the name of Michael Essien. John Mensah got suspended. And then they have to move Michael from the midfield to the back line. He got excited. We were dominating play, got excited, he got carried away. He's thinking, I'm playing in the middle. He was playing in the midfield for Chelsea. National team is playing in the
originally, Essien was a defender. he played at the back when he was in St. Augustine's before he went to the 17 team he played.
Yeah, he changed when he moved to Europe.
Yeah.
He changed to the midfield when he moved to us. But we all know he's a centre back.
Yeah.
But he played midfield after he left the shores of Ghana. He played midfield throughout. So during the tournament, he got carried away. He got excited, carried the ball, came through the middle and left the back line.
So there was a leakage?
There was a leakage. Eto got the ball and then he realized Essien is out of position, then played through ball 1-0. We dominated play. For us, we knew the tournament is for us. Because every game as the tournament progresses, more stronger we become. You can testify that in the third place game against Ivory Coast in Kumasi.
Yeah.
We smashed them.
Yeah.
We smashed them 4-2. We smashed them. So and Ivory Coast too lost to Egypt. So it looks like the third place game is supposed to happen in the final. But for me, I think we lost it. We lost it against Cameroon through injuries and all that. And I wasn't lucky as well,
Tell me about that situation. I remember an interview you granted us, after the second match day, where you confidently stated that the doctors didn't know. I mean, it was a very big soundbite at the time, that the doctors didn't know what they were talking about, and that it was your body, and you were very sure you were going to play. And you came in and played in Ghana, Nigeria.
Yes, but you see, the situation was, before even the tournament, before we even moved to camp, I was injured.
I see.
European doctors have ruled me out for, I think, 3 months.
I see.
Because a week before we report to camp, training camp in Abu Dhabi, I torn my ligament in my ankle.
I see.
I had an MRI, and then I have to stay out for 3 months. And the tournament is like a month and a week away. So for me, I was like, okay, it's done. It's done. But before that, I was in top form. We had a tournament in Ghana, 4-nation tournament. I scored like 4 goals in the tournament.
I remember.
I went back to my team. And I scored 2 goals. So within a week, I scored like 6 goals.
So I remember that Stephen Appiah also played in that tournament.
In that tournament, in the 4-nation.
He also got injured.
Yes, that time he had his operation, and I think he was having challenges, complications after the operation. He's fit, no pain, nothing, but physically he's not. He was having challenges, so he struggled in that tournament. Then he have to go back. That's how come he missed the Nations Cup itself. I was injured with heart, and then I counted myself out. But the FA said, bring him to the camp. Let our doctor to assess him. And truly, I went to the camp. First 2-3 weeks, I wasn't training with the team. I was just doing rehab. But after the 4th week, nothing. I was running, I was playing. So I trained the whole week, play one friendly game. The last friendly game that we played before the tournament, I was fit. I played 90 minutes. I was fit. I started the tournament, and then in training, I got injured again. I broke my foot, the bone on top of my foot.
Wow.
In the tournament again.
Your right?
My right side, here.
Wow.
I broke it. It was a training game, a possession game, and then John Mensah stepped on it. It was a 50-50 ball, and then step on it. And then that was it. I broke it, but...
Was this before the Nigeria game?
Before the Nigerian game.
So how did you...
Yes. So this is what I did. I put fresh meat. I cut fresh meat.
I was told about that. I wanted to be sure.
Yes.
Fresh meat.
Yes, fresh meat.
Who taught you that?
We had a physio from New Zealand in my team in Scotland. And then he told me about this, because I saw him use that on one of our players, and the player played 90 minutes without any issues. So this is what I did.
It's just like the placenta woman, who used to use the horse placenta to.
Exactly, because
so you put fresh meat on it.
Fresh meat. I cut it. A steak.
Yes.
A steak.
Yes.
So before I bandage, I take like this and then put it on top of the injury, and then bandage it. So the flesh meat is like our meat.
Yeah.
So it will meet it before it will get to you. You see, that's the concept. I don't know whether it's mind game, and trust me, I played nothing.
So in layman's terms, the pain is absorbed by the fresh meat.
The fresh meat, because the ball have to touch before it gets to the flesh, before it gets to me.
I see.
That's the idea. Because I asked questions about why you doing that. Beginning, I wasn't sure the player will be able to play, but I played 90 minutes. I asked him, "Are you okay?" He said, "It's okay." So the moment I got injured, then I said, "Okay." So I called him, and he said, he showed me how to go the process, and I did it, and I'm fine. I played against Nigeria with that. Yes, and then...
How did you inspire yourself in that game against Nigeria? I mean, that was like a World Cup final for everybody in Ghana. And I'm sure that in Nigeria as well, it was the same. I mean, the sporting rivalry around any Ghana-Nigeria fixture is something else. I mean, look at what's been happening with the Cook-a-thon for the Guinness Book of Records. It's just crazy.
Exactly.
You know, football is always crazy. Look at the recent World Cup qualifiers as well.
You know,
what was it that gave you energy and that tough mind? Because you came into that game and we saw somebody with massive confidence, and I was wondering where you got that from.
Like you rightly said, you know, Ghana, Nigeria, we are brothers. We are family. We love each other. Everywhere you see Ghanaian and Nigerians all over the world, they click more than any other country.
Sure.
You know, so at the same time, we love each other, but at the same time, when we are fighting over something, that pride have to come out.
Yeah.
You know, everything we do, it doesn't matter anything. We want to use pride. You know, because of the pride, we have to go all out at each other. But don't get me wrong, we love each other. Off the pitch, off the battles, we love each other. You know, and like you rightly said, every game that I've played against Nigeria, for me, is like my last one. For me, it's like my last one, because every team I've played in Europe, I have at least one or two Nigerian players in the team. And before we even come, the argument have started already. You know, that time, Wanyama, their goalkeeper, he was playing for Hapoel Tel Aviv. I played for Hapoel Tel Aviv. I left, and then he came in. So I have friends in the team. I have friends that works with within the Hapoel Tel Aviv sector. So before the tournament, friends called me and said, Wanyama said, they're going to smash us and all that. So me coming into the game, I was ready for him, especially the game we played in London. That was
Laryea Kingston against Nigeria.
Yeah, before the game happened, game.
Yeah.
Wanyama, if boasted in Israel, Vincent Inyama, if boasted in Israel that they're going to smash us and all that. I even spoke to him on the phone before he left to the game. So me coming into the game, I know I have something to beat, you know. So I get motivation from those things because of where I grew up. You know, I like the challenges. I don't want you to be nice to me. When you're nice to me, that's my weakness.
I see.
I want the challenge. I want someone that can challenge me, someone that can push me to the wall. Then that brings the best out of me.
So that moment when the substitution was done and you were introduced into the game, I mean, I even saw the way you jumped when you were coming onto the pitch. I mean, it had all sorts of, you know, subtle meanings and all of that. I mean, you were fired up, and I'm still wondering who you spoke to or what. Okay, what did you tell yourself immediately the switch was done and you were on the pitch? What did you?
Yeah, you know, I always say footballers, we are also entertainers. And looking at the crowd like that, and during that time, before coming in, I can see the crowd was a bit down because it was 1-1 situation. We scored they score first on penalty, and then we equalized. They equalized with the header. With the header. Yeah. So it was 1-1, and I could see the fans. They started to panic because we play in Nigeria.
There was a lot of tension. I was in the stadium.
A lot of tension and all that. So me coming in, I know if substitution is happening, they are bringing you in to change something. So I've already psyched myself up. Okay, the coach is bringing me in because he knows what I'm bringing on board. I have to come and change something. And then I look at it. I look at the crowd. Now, we are entertainers. I have to ginger them so that the support will be more because they were down. They were down. So that's why I try to do those antics. Jump with the left foot 3 times, jump in the air, and then shake my body. Then the crowd.
I remember it was something else.
So it was something that it was a mind game that I played on the fans to come behind us, and then after we got the winning goal, the rest is what? Just let us entertain the fans. Let them enjoy. That's why I told John Pence, hey, let's keep the ball on the side. Bring Taita close. Create overload on the side against him. then play him along. That's it.
I see. So you got injured again before the Cameroon game?
Yes, in the warm-up.
I see.
The same injury.
I see. It got aggravated.
Yeah, the same injury. During the warm-up, the passing drill, someone hit it. And then again, started feeling
Start
it.
in trouble.
Yeah, so I have to go off. After that, I have to stay out for like, I think, 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yes. So my team in Scotland, they were so annoyed. They were not happy at all because one, I was injured already. They said, no, don't go. Now you are done with the Nations Cup. You came back and you have to stay out for 2 months. So I understand. I understand their frustrations that Nations Cup players leave and go. Maybe they will be injured. They come back. They cannot play for them, and all that. They're going to lose them for like a month. So I understand. I understand what they go through.
Looking back, would you have wished to have played in a few more AFCONs than you did?
Yes. I could have gone more. I could have gone more because I remember I missed the 2010 one and then 2012 one. I was still active. 2010 I was active. I was still active. I mixed it through injury as well. I was injured during that period. And then 2012 I was out of the national team. I wish I could have gone more.
I see.
Because it's the bigger stage on the continent. Bigger stage. Every player wants to be there.
Let's take a look at the current generation and what they are confronted with. Obviously, there's a lot of reference to the kind of quality that you guys had when you were there. We've had a couple of switches when it comes to the technical direction of the team. I mean, we've been talking about 2008. Between 2008 and now, we've had quite a number of coaches. You place it against a situation like that in Senegal, and you're asking yourselves, are we able to ever do that? To have a coach of the Black Stars team who will have longevity, who would have a target set for him over a certain number of years, irrespective of the situation. Do you ever see that happening?
Yeah, I can see that happening. You know, it's not everything that we will say, but looking at the current management of the FA, I think the first 4 years look like now they are trying to figure out what can they do to settle. But this time around, the first term is gone. The other term, the other 4 years that they are on now, I'm seeing a lot of positives. And for me, I know very well, and we've had some conversations. I know now the FA wanted to be consistent in terms of coaches, you know, because when you have consistency in your technical team, that's the only way you have a solid team and results. So I think currently, the FA, they wanted to do that, and that's what they're looking for. But one thing we should all know, coaches are hired to be fired. You know, the only thing that will keep you on your job is results. So the moment you started getting bad results, you should be rest assured that you are going to lose your job. But then again, the FA have to have confidence in the team, and the coaches too should present something to the FA that they are competent enough to be given time. You see, so if you let the FA understand that you are competent enough, or the FA see that you are competent enough, then they will have confidence in giving you time to stay there for a long time. So I think the longevity is the key. The FA should believe in the coaches that they have now, whoever they appoint. They should believe in them and then rally their support behind them. And I think every coach have something that he's bringing on board. If the core of the team get used to him, he gets used to them, the results will come.
There's been talk about, the current regime and how, it's been tough. So loads and loads of people express different, thoughts from time to time. But here we are, we're in the saddle, and Coach Chris Hughton will be in charge of the team at the AFCON. I don't know if you've had any personal encounters with him, but I don't know what you also make of what has been done so far in the current scheme of things.
Yeah, for me, it will be a disaster for us to change Chris Hughton and his backroom staff now, because we don't have time. I know beginning like a month ago, a lot of speculation that he's leaving and all that. For me, I was like, no, don't leave, no, don't leave. That's what I was praying for, because it will be too late for every coach to come in. It will be a magic for the coach to come in within a month or 6 weeks. 6 weeks is okay for a coach to take a new team and then try to turn things around. 6 weeks.
I mean, we saw the example of Jamel Belmadi in Algeria.
Exactly. Every coach needs 6 weeks. You know why? Because for me, the way I work, 6 weeks, now I have to go through the phases. I take 1 week to go through each phase. So I have 4 phases, whether on the ball and off the ball. So I need 4 weeks to educate, preach my what do you call it? My ideology to the group. So first week I pick one phase, coach that. Second week I move to the second phase, 3 and then 4. So I have 4 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks it's all about what? Sharpness. Because now they know the concept. So now you have to sharpen them up. With that 6 weeks you are fine. But in Chris' case, it was too short for him to leave, and then another person comes in. So I was so happy that the FA maintained him. The number of players that he have now, at least he's played at least 5 games with them. So he should know them, he should understand them, and then they should also get used to what he's expecting from them. So I know Ghanaians are not happy. Ghanaians are not happy with them. For me, I've watched the team several times. I had the opportunity to be with the team. This is, from where I'm sitting, this is what I've seen about our style of play now. We just need a little bit of intensity in our play, whether on the ball and then off the ball. It looks like when we are on the ball, we play too many passes. So because of that, the opponent, they will recover early and then drop and stay behind the ball. It makes it difficult for us to go behind them. We should be able to have a little bit of intensity in our play when we are on the ball. Off the ball too, especially when we start the game, you never know what the opponent is bringing on board. So go and press high. Press them high and see how they'll deal with it. If they can deal with it, then you can have plan B. Drop, and then in the middle, wait for them to make mistakes. But beginning of the game, go press high. Go press it and see if their back line have confidence to play. If not, if they can play, then you settle. If not, then it's a trigger for you to punish them with it. I don't see the intensity in their play. They should have a little bit intensity in their play.
How do you coaches feel when the fans assess the performance of players and teams on the basis of aesthetically fine football, or what they just see on the pitch, without giving it a bit of a technical look? For instance, the period where many were criticizing Jordan Ayew for not being, an effective player on the pitch, when in actual fact he had been given another role on the wings, and he was not necessarily the arrowhead, at the top of the attack.
Yeah, for all those things, it depends on the coach. The coach knows. You can see a player playing for a different coach in different role, but for instance, maybe the way Chris Hughton is using Jordan, if I'm to be in Chris' shoes, I will use him differently. When you look at Kudus Mohammed, he normally use him as a 10, but if I'm to be the coach, I would prefer Kudus Mohammed as false 9. Then again, it depends on how the coach wants to approach his games. You see, of course, the fans, they will criticize you, they will say the way they see the game. But you, the coach, have to believe in what you also have. Bring on board. Of course, listen to them. But sometimes you can listen to them and take something from what they are saying. But at the end of the day, you are the one that will make the final decision. You know what you are bringing on board. So believe in what you are bringing on board and make it work. You can play players in different positions according to the way you want your team to function on the pitch. It's you and your team. You know what you want to do to win games for us. So me, for instance, I'll put my feet down and then place players in positions that I think can help me. And trust me, the moment the players are used to me and I'm used to them, trust me, definitely there will be results happening.
So it means that there is nothing like lack of commitment on the part of players to die for the nation, in quote, or for want of a better expression.
No.
Because that's what, I mean, when you understand, I mean, in the last couple of games when things have not exactly gone right, that is what you heard the fans say, that it's lack of commitment. It's not that, it's rather the inability to play, a high-intensity game.
Yes. For me, I don't think it's player commitment, because every player that comes in, he wanted to come and play and do well. For me, I think every player that comes in wanted to come and play and do well for his country and then for himself. The only thing that I can say about it is how the coaches can use them, and they should have a little bit intensity in their play. The moment they had intensity in their play, I think they can cause problems.
I see. Well, we are just having this conversation with Coach Laryea Kingston. He's been there before on the stage of the Africa Cup of Nations, and he knows exactly what it is like to be wearing the national jersey at that time. As we get ready for this tournament, there's one other thing. It's all part of the mix. It's the subject of jersey colors. There are those who there are days when I receive calls and people are on the phone with me for 10 to 15 minutes discussing the jersey color, the choice of the red, the white, the yellow or gold, and how we have drifted from using yellow as our main color to others, and it's not helping. What about you, the players? Do you ever feel extra energy when you wear certain colors on the pitch? Or do you feel, for instance, there's always been a certain myth around the red jersey, for instance, since we started using the all-red jersey.
One time we used black.
Yeah, we used black against
Zimbabwe.
And
we lost the game.
Yeah, I remember.
Ever since, we've never used black before.
Yeah, I remember. It was at the AFCON in
2006. Yeah. For me, everyone with his beliefs.
But tell me about, let's begin with that particular game, because it was nouvelle for those of us of that generation. We had never heard or had never read about any Black Stars team wear black.
We've never used that color before, but that year Puma did made a black jersey for us, and that time we felt that's the color we want to wear. And
so it was something you all agreed on, or
no? It's the colors that the FA choose.
Okay.
So we had like two colors, white, and then the black jerseys. We've used white in 2 games.
Yeah.
And then
So
our
you wanted
last
to
game,
change,
we wanted to use the next color for people to see. Trust me, if we would have won that game, nobody
would have said. We probably would have even said that black was a better jersey.
So for me, I don't believe in those things. It doesn't matter. It depends. What really matters is your preparation to the game, and you coming on the match day and performing well. Jerseys colors doesn't concern me.
So any color would go for you, whether it's an
a
all-black
uniform.
thing.
It's a uniform. Most important thing is what is in you, what I'm bringing on board. My performance on the pitch is the key. I don't care about what color jersey. What we have to. They are wearing yellow, so you have to have a yellow band in your wrist. No, not for me. My main thing is coming to play a game, perform well, and get a win.
When you look back at the AFCON and the opportunities you have had, which day would you consider the most worthy one? In terms of the memories.
I would say when Ghana hosted the tournament here, and I was very lucky that I was part of it. The atmosphere alone, playing in front of your friends, family, it's amazing. And Ghanaians did very well. they troop in to the stadium. All Ghana games, stadium was full. So for me, I think that's massive experience for me, and I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy that I was part of it.
The fans do definitely have something to do with it, don't they?
Yes, they do. We need them. For me, if I'm playing and the stadium is empty, I don't feel good. We are show business people. People think only musicians are show business people. Footballers, we are also the same.
That's true.
Because imagine World Cup final. Millions of people watching across the world. If you have a touch on your feet. If let's say I'm playing and the ball is on my feet. Everyone that is watching all over the world is watching me. So show business. I have to do something for them to enjoy, have fun, break their hearts sometimes, break their hearts sometimes. But that's the fun part of this game. That's the fun part of this game. You never know. You can when I enter into coaching, sometimes you prepare very well. I can prepare very well throughout the week. The sessions will go well. My team talk will go well. Players are training well. Preparation will be on top. But on the match day, sometimes the players comes in, first 10, 15 minutes, they will be lost.
What accounts for that?
It depends on the approach. Especially sometimes they're warming up. Maybe they've not warmed up well. And also sometimes during the week, you've loaded them with session, with training. So they are heavy. It will take them time for them to come into the game. So it depends on the situation. Sometimes warm up, and then also maybe the load is too much on them. Or maybe you've used players, they've had more minutes, and you are using them in that game. So it takes them time to adjust. Some of them too, they can start very well. But during the later part of the game, you see them going down. So it depends.
Well, interesting thoughts there. The man Laryea Kingston here with us on Joy Sports, Joy Prime, and Joy 99.7 FM as we look ahead to the Africa Cup of Nations in neighboring Cote d'Ivoire. The Youth and Sports Ministry put out a release recently giving guidelines as to how it will be smooth for people to travel across the border to go and watch games. And of course, that has some requirements we're sharing with you as we go along. But do feel free to send in the comments as we always do. And I'll be sharing them with Laryea as well. If there are questions in there, I'll be asking him as well. Still here on this special as we look ahead to the Africa Cup of Nations and its big kickoff. Well, still having the conversation here, and loads and loads of very interesting, thoughts. The fact that you can possibly, I'm not saying this is from a very, this is from a very inexperienced and not so technical point of view, the use of fresh meat. And you do remember, the Serbian lady who previously was hired by some players of the Black Stars to come and help with the horse placenta. Maybe it does some magic. Laryea Kingston has shared his AFCON experience with us. I don't know about you out there. But let's just throw the focus on the Black Stars squad that has been called up by Coach Houghton. So most of them do not have, AFCON experience. The most experienced player here, obviously, is Captain Laryea, who has had seven appearances. Yep. Okay, so let's begin from the top. From the goalkeepers. So Lawrence Atizigi is the one who is new to this stage. Richard Ofori participated in the year 2017 and in 2019, 2 appearances. Jojo Wolokot was in the recent one in 2021. And then we come to the defense. Alidou Seydou is new to the Africa Cup of Nations. Dennis Odoi, new to the Africa Cup of Nations. Schindler is also new to the Africa Cup of Nations. Gideon Mensah, same. Hamid Fatau, also new to the Africa Cup of Nations. And then you come to good old Daniel Amate, 2015, 2017, and 2019. Nicolas Opoku has not appeared at the Africa Cup of Nations. Alexander Jiku was there in 2021. Now, Mohamed Salisu has not had any AFCON experience. Samed Salis, no AFCON experience. Jonathan Soa, no AFCON experience. And then Baba Idrisu, was there in 2021. Then you come to Majida Shimeru, same. He hasn't had any. Elisha Owusu, obviously, recently discovered and given a chance to play the Black Stars team, yet to see any AFCON experience. Richmond Lamte, same. Kudus, same. Now, Andre Ayew was there in 2008, in 2010, 2012, 2015, 2017, 2019, and 2021. Königsdorfer, yet to taste AFCON, action. Osman Bukari, same. And then Joseph Pencil in 2021, that was his first experience. Now, Jordan Ayew is the second most experienced. He's got four, yes. So in 2015, 2017, 2019, and 2021. So this tournament will be his fifth tournament. Ernest Nyama doesn't have any AFCON experience. Inaki Williams is also new to the stage, and Antoine Semenyo also new to the stage. So now, question is, how do these players, what are the advantages and disadvantages? There are those who say, look, they go in as greenhorns and they don't have anything to worry about because they don't know the intensity of the stage, they don't know anything, they're just playing their game and that will get the best out of them. Some also say that once they get there, the inexperience counts.
Yeah, for me, I think one thing they should know, that they're playing for Ghana. And Ghana, a lot of people have so much respect for them. And Ghanaians are also expecting a lot from them. They know. They've come to Ghana, they've played qualifier in Ghana, so they know how Ghanaians love the game. Talking about experience, each and every player that is in the squad now have played a lot of games in Europe. They've played under a lot of pressure. So talking about pressure and all that, I don't think we will have, the players will have that on their shoulders. One good thing that Chris did is him bringing Andre Ayew into this squad. You can tell from the players that they have, the inexperience are a lot in the group. So you need someone like Andre that have seen it all to at least be part of the team. At least, even if he's not going to be a starter, he should be around the team. He can sit with them, motivate them, share stories about the Nations Cup. All these can help the fresh ones that are in the squad to at least have a little fair idea about what they're going to meet out there. Looking at the tournament itself, I know Ivory Coast have improved their infrastructure in terms of hotels, in terms of the pitches. I've seen one or two pitches that is going to host the tournament, and the pitch is amazing. It's amazing. So looking at it, I don't think those things will affect them. But you cannot, experience is very important. I agree with you, but we have someone like Jordan who have seen it. You have Andre who have if he goes to this tournament, I think, if he in this tournament, I think he will be the highest appearance player
with
in Africa.
Yeah,
so,
the likes of Rigobert Song,
so for me, I was so excited to see him being part of the team so that he can at least achieve something before he leaves the national team. So I don't think they are going to have problems because of their first appearance, because in their clubs they play in front of a lot of massive fans. So this won't be a problem at all.
So let's talk about a few of these individuals. We've spoken about the Kudus situation and the fact that in the last 24 hours there's been a lot of talk about how he's still receiving medical attention and all of that. We've gone through this kind of phase before when at the point we're looking so badly for Michael Essien at the AFCON and we couldn't have him because of injury. How can this affect the team? In the unlikely instance of not having him, within the next 24 hours, not getting anything positive, is there going to be any effect?
Yeah, massive blow for us. Because Kudus now is in top form. He's someone, if I'm a coach, I'm going to build a team around him. No doubt about that. I'm going to build the team around Kudus Mohammed because he's doing very well in his club. The criteria to call national team players is they performing well in their club. And Kudus is doing that at the moment. So for me, no doubt about it. If he's not part, if he cannot make it, or he's not 100% fit, it's a big blow for the team. Because at the moment, currently, he is the one that we have to look at, because he possesses a lot. Okay, Norma is there. Norma is coming in new. He's had very good games with the Black Stars as well. But Kudus Mohammed is the name now. Is the name. Is someone that is going to drive the team as well. So
and
we
he
need
came
him.
from your old stables at
Right to Dream Academy. Right to Dream Academy with Kudus. I think they had a very good plan for him when he was young, and I think they've helped him a lot to develop well, and his choices as well. I think that's what have helped him. Someone will say, okay, from Right to Dream, go to Manchester United straight. But Right to Dream was very patient. They move him at the right time, at the right moment, put him in FC Nottingham, express himself there, get some number of games. He had opportunity to come to England since, but him and Right to Dream made a choice. No, this is not the right time. Let me go to another school, which is Ayers. Go there 1-2 seasons, then it's ready. It's ready to go into the bigger stage. And you can see the moment he gets to the Premier League, he's ready. And he's smashing a lot of people, So for me, I have no doubt about his abilities because I saw him when he was young. I saw what he can do. When he was young, he can get a ball and he will dribble the whole pitch. He can decide that I'm dribbling everybody on the pitch. Sometimes coaches will get angry and say, hey, I passed the ball. But he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it. Right to Dream gave him the freedom to express what is in him. And I think that's what have helped him a lot. And with the good guidance, a lot of right people around him have helped him to progress gradually. And I think he's doing very well now.
So clearly the spots of experience hinge on Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, Richard Ofori, and Daniel Amate. These are the pillars of experience in the team.
Yes, and when you look at it, we have all the departments in it. Richard Ofori at the back, the goalkeeper side. Daniel Amate, defense. The spine, you can see that. Andre can play as 10. Jordan can play as number 9. So every department, you have one player there. You come to the midfield, Andre is there. The back line, Amate is there. The goals, we have Richard Ofori there. Up front, you have Jordan there. So for me, I think it's good with all the departments. We have an experienced player there. So if it's on the pitch, you can guide them in that aspect.
Have you been trying to figure out who would have made your top 11 if you were in Chris Hughton's shoes? I mean, based on the squad that you saw, Have you ever tried to sit back and just think, oh, maybe I'll put this one here, I'll put this one there?
For me, no, I will not say I can do that now because I've never been close to the team and I've not coached them before. If I coach them for 2-3 days, yes, I will know who. People will think, oh, the starting team that Chris have used about 3 games in a row, the same team I should be using.
I would want us to talk about that because this is something that the fans always and we pick a lot of feedback from the fans. Okay, I mean a lot of them feel that consistency and like they always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We need some consistency and it's based on the consistency because we see it with other teams. Other teams were able to say who starts and who's at the top of the attack.
Yeah, consistency is very key, especially in a team. When you're building a team, you need a solid players that that, okay, if you are coming into the game, at least if you've changed and not changing because of performance, but changing because of maybe workload, maybe you've played more minutes, you want to rest him, to give him some minutes, you're changing, fine. But trust me, when you're building a team, you should have at least 13, 14 players that when you wake up every day, these are the players you go in with. And then you can build the rest from the back. As for consistency is the key. Players playing together for a long time, they get used to each other. and you, the coaches, let's talk. Because even if in your training session you put up cones, you set up your area, the players will look and then look at what you've done, and they already know what we are going to do. So it helps you, the coach, to get your job done easy for you because they know you. You also know them. Unlike maybe every game you've changed like 5 players, even your coaching point going in is a problem. But the players get used to coaches' coaching point. For example, my squad with the U17s now, I can sit back and scream, find the line, and they already know. If you bring one new player in, if I say find the line, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. So consistency in the team is the key. And when you are being appointed as a manager to come and coach a team, first 2-3 weeks is very difficult. Because now you have to preach what you are bringing on board to them, and they also have to get used to you. But after that, makes it easy because they will understand all your coaching points.
Now, ahead of this tournament, I know that there are loads and loads of predictions that those who have seen, teams perform based on which they want to do some projections. For instance, at the last edition of the AFCON, everybody was talking about Nigeria and how Nigeria looked so strong. But then everybody was given wrong proof, based on what happened at the tournament. As we go into this one as well, the World Cup and what has happened there has given Morocco a very good image in the eyes of all the fans around the world.
Yeah, for me, I think tournament favors. Tournament is not like a league match that you have to play like 32 games before you'll be crowned a champion. When you can go into the tournament, and if the tournament favors you, you have your first win, you qualify to the next round knockout stage, you are in one goal, you move to the next one. Before you realize you are close to the cup. We've seen a lot of situations happen. When the Zambians won the African Cup, they were minnows. They went there as minnows, but they find themselves navigating themselves through, and at the end of the day, they won the cup. So trust me. I know Ghanaians are not happy, they don't believe in the team, but they can go out there and then cause surprises. And I have a feeling that this is the time Ghana can win it. This is the time. Because Ghanaians doesn't have confidence in the team. But when the tournament starts, a lot of things can change.
Keto Kriku, the FA president, said that sometime during the week. He spoke about how big teams can go and crumble, and that was the experience. I mean, we remember 2002 when the defending world champions France went to the World Cup, played against the newcomers Senegal, and they lost.
Yeah. And then even Argentina.
Cameroon, yeah.
Argentina, Cameroon, yes.
Yeah.
Maradona time. Is it 1990?
Yeah.
86 or 90?
Yeah.
1990?
Yes. Yeah, 1990, yeah.
They won the 86. Won the 86. 1990, they came in, and then Cameroon gave them a surprise, know. So, okay, just last World Cup, Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Do you believe Saudi Arabia can even stand in front of Argentina for? Argentina went on and to win what? The tournament. So for me, tournament, when you get it right, you go in, you win your game. First game is always important. Every tournament I've been as a coach, my first team talk is about win your first game. You know why? Because the teams that you are in the same group with, you share the same hotel. And game day, all the 4 teams will leave and go to the match. When you arrive, the tournament, you meet each other, you see people looking at you, you see body, facial expression, okay. You see, hello, hi. But after the first game, you want to come back to the hotel with your head down. Well, you can't look at, let's say we are in the same group with Nigeria or Cameroon. We've lost our game. Nigeria have won, Cameroon have won. Can you smile can you walk with your chest? No, you can't. You'll be hiding. And that feeling, I don't like it. Because I experienced that in the Nations Cup when we lost our first game against Nigeria in Egypt. The hotel was like a cemetery.
I see.
We couldn't even eat. We were so disappointed. We were ashamed of ourselves. So this is something that every tournament I go as a coach, every tournament I've been with Right to Dream, and then recently with the U17s to Serbia, my first game is important. And this is what I preach to the boys. You see, we were with the Spanish team, we were with the Swiss team, we were with Serbia team. 2-3 days before the first games, we see each other, we eat together, and then, I told them, okay, now you see them, you're smiling, you're like, after our first games, will you come back here? When you see them, then you'll be down, we've lost. No, we want to have that confidence. So our first game is important. Let's win, and then we come in, when we are eating, you eat, you hear the sound of your plate. Let him hear the sound of your plate. So that gives you confidence to carry on in the tournament. And everything that I've said to them during the tournaments that I've been, we've won all our first games. And after we've won it, gives us confidence to finish the tournament well.
What will be the topmost advice from where you sit for the trial game against Namibia?
For me, the advice will be the starting team that will start the tournament. Go for it. The starting 11 that I'm going to use in the tournament.
Okay.
If I'm Chris, I'm going to start those players. And I'm going to give them at least 60 minutes. All of them, 60 minutes. Then the bench players can come and play the rest of the minutes.
What's the rationale behind that?
Yeah, because they have to have a feel. That's their last game. I don't know whether they will have another game. If that's their last game, your starting 11 should play your last game. So that when they go in and they play in that game, then you can see some corrections. Then the players will know, okay, I'm starting the game. In this game, this is the situation that came in. So that when you are playing the main tournament, definitely, every situation that have happened in a game can happen again. Every situation in every game, it keeps repeating itself. So when you've met it in your last friendly game before the tournament, and during the tournament, you see that, then it's easy for you to adjust and adapt in the tournament. So go with your starting team in the last game before the tournament.
Go with your starting 11 when you're playing your last trial game ahead of the tournament. The words of Laryea Kingston here as we look forward to wrapping it up here on the show. But we'll do a quick run through the groups and take his thoughts on where he sees, the tide turning in terms of the excellence and in terms of the big entertainment and the big goals as well. So in Group A, it's the host Côte d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, and Nigeria.
Wow. That's for me, I will look at Côte d'Ivoire and Nigeria going through. They are big guns. You can't take anything away from them. I know they've
no surprises.
No,
you don't, because Nigeria have also had their issues. You do
Issues,
remember the
yeah.
loss they suffered to Lesotho in the World Cup
and all
qualifiers,
that.
and all the troubles.
Yes,
and,
yes. But I don't see Nigeria going down in that tournament. Nigerians, you can see every tournament they come in and then at least move out of the group stages for a long time. They've maintained that. So I don't see them going out. Ivory Coast, they now building their team and they bring in a lot of young boys in the team. So they have a very solid team. Most of their players are playing actively in one of the most of the big leagues in the world now. So I see them going through. That group, I think these two will go through.
All right, let's look at our group, Group B, and that's Cape Verde, Egypt, Ghana, and Mozambique.
Now a lot of countries are playing.
Yeah,
football has changed. Football has changed. Mozambique, because of their physique, I think they can cause. They can cause problems with all the teams. Tactically, understanding of the game, their game knowledge, I think the other teams will be a little bit ahead of them. Looking at the teams, I know Ghanaians, we are not happy, but I can't turn my back on my country. So I think Ghana and Mozambique will go through.
You're not giving Egypt a chance?
No.
Why?
I know you are surprised. Most people will be surprised because Egypt, they know how to play tournaments. You know, looking at the Egyptians, most of their players play in Egypt, and their league is not competitive anymore because they've stopped the fans from going to the stadium to watch the games. So it's not entertaining. It's like their players are playing behind closed doors. Almost all the games in Egypt at the moment. So them moving and coming into the tournament and seeing bigger crowds
all over again,
I think it's going to have effect on them.
Okay, interesting stuff there. Well, in Group C, it's Cameroon, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Senegal.
Cameroon, Senegal.
Cameroon, Senegal.
Yeah.
Any day.
Any day. Cameroon, Senegal. Cameroon with Eto'o.
Vincent Aboubakar is the man, the experienced man there. He's leading the charge.
Yeah. So Eto'o that I know.
And Rigobert Song.
Yes, they have the character. They've seen it all. They've been there. So they know what it takes to play in this.
Eto'o as the FA president, Rigobert Song
as a coach. So they've seen it all. So for me, I don't think they will go there and then just go out of the group stages. So, and Senegal, we all know what they are doing already. Defending champions. They are doing very well. The only thing that I'm not sure with their main man, because of where he's playing, Sadio Mane, where he's playing, his form will definitely drop because it's not competitive like Germany or England. That's the only thing I'm scared of. But trust me, they have a lot of young players around them that can cause surprises.
Group D, Algeria, Angola, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania. Algeria, Angola, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania.
I will go Algeria and Burkina Faso. Well, recent time, Burkina Faso too, they put in a lot of effort in terms of their coaching. So I saw their U20s playing in the Wafo Zone B, and I could see something has changed. So if the youth team is playing well, I'm expecting the senior team also to do well. Algeria, we know that they are very good in tournaments. Their leagues are very competitive. They have a lot of players playing in the domestic league, and
of course they won the last two editions of the cup.
Yes. So.
Mali, Namibia, friendly match opponents, South Africa and Tunisia in Group E.
Wow. Tunisia, you can't write them off. Tunisia, you cannot write Tunisia off as well. So I'm looking at Mali, constantly will go through, and Tunisia as well. Mali and Tunisia.
And then we look at DR Congo, Morocco, Tanzania, and Zambia making up Group F. DR Congo, Morocco, Tanzania, and Zambia.
So I will go Zambia and Morocco.
Zambia and Morocco.
Yes. Morocco, the investment they made is amazing.
And it showed at the last World Cup.
Yes, it showed at the last World Cup, and you can see they are doing the right thing. When you watch them play, you can see their coach have learned very well. That's modern football. Loads of transition in their play. If it's necessary to press high, they do. If they have to drop early to come and defend their box well, they can do that as well, and then cost you by the offensive transition. So me watching them in the last World Cup, I think I was so convinced that they come in here and they are contenders.
Let's wrap up the conversation, on the note of reward, financial reward for our various platforms. Now, at the last edition of the Euros, we saw a figure around 28.5 million euros. Now, the winner of the Africa Cup of Nations will earn up to $7 million US dollars. Okay. For you, the senior players, when you meet and you're having your conversations about this particular element, what are the conversations you have around it? Because I'm also looking at the preparation that sometimes some of the teams make, which is sometimes even close to these amounts, and
Yeah, for me, I think if we're comparing ourselves to the Europeans, one thing we should know different markets.
Okay.
You see,
Sure.
different markets. And when you look at the sponsorship around the European Cup and the sponsorship around the African Nations Cup, massive difference. You know, the marketing aspect. You know, for me, I always say Europeans, the marketing in Europe, and then even the packaging of the tournament itself, it's mind blowing. You know, it's different from Africa. So definitely, you have people coming in to sponsor.
So clearly, CAF has work to do.
Yeah, they have. They have to. They definitely have to do more than what they are doing. You know, look, I guarantee you, I've seen a lot of Nations Cup. The attendance in the stadium, it's shocking sometimes. You know, you watch Nations Cups. Hopefully, Ivory Coast will not be like that. They will fill the stadium. They have to. Watch European Championship. By now, tickets is sold out.
And obviously, you were talking about the economy and all of that.
Economy.
Relatively,
Yes,
the
exactly.
as well.
Exactly. Two different economies. So the money involved, trust me, I will not be jealous with the Europeans. They are in different markets. The marketing aspect over there is different. You know, even in terms of selling tickets and all that, it's already sold. Most games is sold already when it comes to European tournaments and World Cups and all that. African Cup, they now go into the gates and then buy tickets there. You know, so it's different markets.
Well, time to wrap it up. I wish we could just keep going on and on and on, but I'm sure we're going to have more conversations as we get closer and closer to the day. But what will be your final message to the players? If you found yourself with them and you had to say something to them, what would you say to them?
Yeah, it's simple. You know, they know we are Ghanaians and we love the game of football. I know there is pressure on them, but they should be themselves. You know, they should listen to the technical team and then play according to what the technical team is bringing on board. Trust me, results, winning games, Ghanaians will root behind you again. Rest assured that some of us, we are rooting behind you. So go out there and exhibit, show whatever you've been taught and whatever it's in you. And trust me, the sky will be the limit.
Laryea, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Great having you this
me.
fine afternoon. And guys, ladies, friends from all over the world, thank you so much for watching and listening as well. And so let me just remind you before we go about 10 Ghana cedis and what it can get you. Okay, so 10 Ghana cedis can get you free tickets for concerts, shopping vouchers worth 500 Ghana cedis or more at Malcolm, and some buckets of juicy chicken at KFC. So all you need to do is just stake 10 Ghana cedis or more in the Game Park Game Pick 1 or Pick 4 lottery to be entered weekly on Saturdays. And bingo, you are in there. So all you need to do is just to ensure that you dial *946# or visit www.gameparkgames.com to play now. Remember, it will be on Adom TV. I'm talking about the draw at 6 p.m. today. And so remember, terms and conditions apply. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. And big ups to everybody who turned up at last night's edition of the repackaged Joy FM 90s Jam. Oh my goodness. We're going to continue to talk about it for a while. There are those who are asking for a repeat, and so we'll see what happens. But hey, big ups to everybody. It was such a big one. And so once again, we'd like to say big salutes to Dr. Randy Abe. Happy birthday to you. Happy 50th birthday to you. It couldn't have come at a better time. We're praying that the positivity around your 50th birthday will help the Black Stars to do something massive in La Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you all. And I'll be back to bring you another must listen to and must watch. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.